Welcome, and good afternoon. I'm Edwin, and I'm the head of product for IT and Service Desk. Today, I'm going to tell you a story about my mornings, which are absolute chaos. Now, at 6 o'clock every morning, my baby, who's 10 months old, will be screaming for her cloud-connected smart baby monitor. I'll be powering through her diaper changes to the sound of Justin Bieber's Baby streaming through Spotify. By 7, I'll be running out the door trying to catch a bus that I know is literally around the corner, thanks to a TripView app on my phone that gives me the real-time location of every single bus that I catch. And as the bus pulls into my stop, I'll be using another app. It's called Hey You, that allows me to order my coffee well before I even get near the cafe. Technology. It's really changed the way we live. Now, apart from diaper changes, it's had a massive impact on every aspect of our lives. But it hasn't just changed the way we live, it's also changed the way we work, the way businesses are run. For every one of those services that I talked about that I depend on so much in the mornings, technology is now the core of their business. Technology is the driver of innovation and competitive differentiation. And for all of us here, all of us, as IT professionals, that's awesome news. Your role has transformed from being a supporter of business to a driver of business. As leaders of technology, you now hold the keys to transform your organizations. You're going to be the future of coffees, music, of public transport. You are at the epicenter of this transformation. But it's not easy. You're expected to be this agent of change, but at the same time do all the things you used to do. Keep the lights on, improve productivity, reduce costs, enhance security, ensure compliance. We've spoken to consistent themes that hold all of us back. First, it's the need to break down silos and work collaboratively. In the past, we were organized around specialists. You would have developers sitting in one room, writing the code, throwing it over the wall to the operations team in another building, and support would be somewhere else. And when you wanted to work collaboratively, when you wanted to solve some problems, what you realized was that it's often more like a game of Pong, with your customer in the middle. Second, it's about access. It's about visibility. It's critical for understanding context, coming up to speed, making timely decisions. But more often than not, you feel like there's an invisible force that's stopping you from having that visibility. Show of hands here, how many of you have recently had to copy and paste from one system into email to your colleague? There you go, there are tons of them, right? Yeah, plenty more didn't. You did that, you didn't put your hand up, right? So you can see visibility is really hard to do, right? Lastly, it's about speed. You no longer have big annual, semi-annual releases. With software, things get rolled out in a matter of minutes. Last week, I spoke with an IT manager at a major bank in Australia, and she shared with me how hard it was to roll out change quickly. In one particular project, she had to roll out 1,800 changes. Now, according to the procedures of her bank, she needed to raise a change request with each one of them. And each change request was going to take 4 days to get approval, then to get rolled out. That's 27 years to do that project. She doesn't have 27 years. So how do we solve these problems? Well, we believe Atlassian has something unique to offer here. We believe the best way to break down silos is to have a unified, collaborative platform that allows you to track any unit of work, from requirements, to stories, to bugs, to incidents, to requests. It's one common way for all your teams to collaborate together, to make comments, to have inline actions, inline decisions, and mentions. We believe in open, so that there's better visibility. While permissions are available in our products, every one of them are built open by default, so that as many people can have access as possible. We applied the same philosophy to our pricing model. It's cost-effective enough for every single employee in your company to get access. Lastly, we are huge proponents of Agile. We've learned a lot of it with you in the processes of making and delivering great software. But as software becomes a bigger and bigger and bigger part of IT, we can take those learnings or those successes that we've had along the way and apply it to other areas of IT. So how do we think about IT? We believe that fundamentally, IT do three things for an organization. First, they deliver technology. Be it buying it, or building it, or everything in between, they need to ensure that it meets the business's requirements, and then successfully roll it out. Secondly, IT must deliver a service, provide support for when things go wrong, answer questions, react to requests for change. And lastly, IT must run the technology to ensure that they're operating smoothly, handle incidents, and proactively deal with any potential disruptions. Now, Atlassian has focused a lot in the past on delivering software with products like Jira Software, Bitbucket, and Confluence. You're going to hear about those products in other talks in the other State of the Union later today. Today, I'd want to focus and zoom in on the two other areas around service and ops. I'll first share some of the most exciting recent developments on Jira Service Desk. Later, Matt, ML, and Elise will take the stage to talk through all the exciting things we have lined up around ops. So, we launched Jira Service Desk 5 years ago now. And over that time, we've really embarked on a journey to redefine the service desk experience. We've had amazing companies from all around the world adopt Service Desk and rely on it every day. We've seen some huge growth. In fact, in the last 2 years alone, we've doubled the number of customers we've had. We've gone far, but we're not done yet. In fact, we're more excited than ever about what Jira Service Desk can do and how far we can go to achieve this mission of bringing modern service desk for every organization. And when we think about that mission, we think there are three very important things that we need to focus on. First is helping you bring a consumer-level experience to your customers. Second, we need to help your agents work mobile. And lastly, in an increasingly complex environment, how we can bring context to help you solve problems faster. Let's first talk about customer experience. Now, every customer today is exposed to great consumer-like experience, from ordering coffee to looking at public transport. That same level of experience is now expected of you as IT in their organization. Now, we believe the best way you can deliver to this experience is through the Help Center. It's your storefront. It's your interface to the rest of the organization. This is why we're super happy to announce that we've completely redesigned the Jira Service Desk Help Center. We believe it's the best experience you can find in any service desk solution. And here it is. Looks good, huh? It's clean, it's simple, and it's customizable. So you can really make it part of your organization. But what we've noticed is that as you adopt Service Desk, it tends to become a bit of a hub for your company. At Atlassian, everything can now be requested through the Help Center. Even when building this presentation, I've raised requests to ask for beautiful design illustrations and raised kudos to recognize all the great work that the team behind me has done to make this presentation possible. It's truly become the one place in organizations to ask for anything. And with this simple card view here, you can easily see what's on offer and find what you're looking for. But we've also rebuilt the way you create requests. Rather than big, long, scary forms, we've now redesigned it to be a progressive, linear experience, so you only focus on one thing at a time. But that's really for raising requests. Wouldn't it be great if your customers don't even raise a request in the first place? That's, of course, where a self-service knowledge base comes in. Now, you may be wondering, hey, is that really a great thing? Do customers want self-service? From our research, we found that 9 out of 10 customers actually prefer self-service, if they can. On the other hand, we also know that knowledge can bring immense benefits for your team. Our own IT teams found that they could deflect up to half the tickets when they rolled out knowledge base in our company. And this is the reason why when we redesigned our help center, we made knowledge front and center. We made it the primary experience for getting help. We've also heard that a common obstacle isn't just about having content, it's about how you get to the content. After all, there's no point if you have the right content, but your customers can't get to it. And this is the reason why we're also introducing this new notion of categories that allow you to group relevant articles together into topics so you can create an easier navigation experience for your customers to find the right answer. And once they've found the right answer, it's now available on a full-page, embedded, content-rich article direct from Confluence, so they don't need to go anywhere else. So you have seen how we've launched a brand new help center to give you great consumer-like experiences. But experiences isn't just for your customer. It's also for your team and your agents. Teams these days are always on the go, always mobile. And the ability to work on it is no longer really a luxury. It's sort of a must-have. All of you have told us that. This is why we've added Jira Service Desk, Jira Cloud mobile app. With the app, you can now view queues, triage them. You can look at the tickets. You can get all the details behind every ticket. You can have a full conversation, both internal comments and external comments with your customers. And you can also leverage the push notifications on your device, so you can get alerts for things like comments, mentions, and SLA warnings. It's available on iOS and Android. Simply install the Jira Cloud app if you haven't already, and you can use these great features. Another trend that we've really noticed is that service desks are becoming more and more complicated. Now, in the past, the IT department was a lot more controlled, a lot more predictable. You had standard hardware, standard operating systems, standard software. Today, it's become a little bit more tricky. Customers are bringing in their own devices. Teams are buying software on their credit cards. And you, as the service desk, is expected to keep on top of all of this. But to keep track of these things is really, really hard. There's different systems to look at it, different systems to monitor and run. And when you have an increasing volume of requests and greater expectations, it's really hard to live up to that. In this environment, we believe context is key. For each ticket, you want to see quickly the most amount of context you can have so that you can diagnose problems, make decisions, answer questions. Today, I'm happy to announce the beta launch of our asset management integrations. It's designed to be flexible enough so that it can connect to any type of assets or any type of configuration items. It's also embedded in context to every ticket, so you can really have the visibility that you need. We're doing this in conjunction with 3 amazing partners, Umnitzer, Device42, and soon coming to the cloud on the marketplace, Riata Insight. All of these are great assets and CMDB solutions that help you manage anything from hardware to software, physical, virtual servers, networks, and much more. Let me give you a quick tour of how these integrations work. So this is the help center that you saw before. And let's say a customer is coming here requesting to increase the capacity of their EC2 instance. Now, when they raise a request, they now get to see a list of all the instances that are assigned to them. You can also configure this field to narrow it down to particular types of assets. So in this case, it's only showing the EC2 instances. And once they've raised that request, the agent on the agent view will now see a new asset panel on the side of the ticket. This will show all the important information about this particular instance, so the agent never needs to leave Service Desk and go to another system. or go back and forth with the customer asking for more details. You can also change the values directly inside the panel here. So in this case, I can easily increase the capacity of the EC2 instance. Additionally, the assets are searchable via JQL, so you can answer some really key questions like, hey, what's the history? What's the history of this device here? Or which change requests were applied to this particular service? In summary, you've seen how we've really made some great strides in Jira Service Desk. We're extremely excited about all these new capabilities and how our team can help you deliver a modern service experience. Now I'm going to hand over to Matt, who's going to introduce the brand new area of Atlassian, Ops. Okay.
Thanks, Edwin. Hi, everyone. I'm Matt. I'm product manager for Jira Ops and an Atlassian old-timer. So I've been working at Atlassian for over 12 years now, and in that time, we've only introduced a very small handful of new products. So that's why I'm incredibly proud today that we've announced not just one, but two new additions to the Atlassian family, with Jira Ops and OpsGenie acquisition today. So today's a very special day for us to share with you this new chapter in the Atlassian story, the chapter of Ops. So what is Ops? Ops is all about running services. I think John Allspaw said it best. Software is no longer something you simply build and launch. It's something you operate. At Etsy, John was one of the pioneers of the DevOps movement, which has totally changed the way that IT teams think about service operations today. And when I think about my time working on cloud services at Atlassian, the hardest part was always dealing with when services went down. I'm talking about incidents. Just the name still sets my heart racing, even though I'm no longer in the on-call rotation. When we talk about incidents, we're talking about major incidents, technical failures that bring your customers or your organization to a standstill, like what happened to Delta Airlines recently. It was one morning in August in the US summer holidays, and Delta had a power failure at their primary data center in Atlanta. The power came back pretty quickly, but their software systems didn't. Some of the systems failed over to backup services, some of them stayed on the primary, and this configuration was something they never tested or planned for, and so their services were down for a number of hours. The incident took 3 days to completely resolve, and the impact to the business was devastating. So from 5 hours of downtime, they had 2,300 flights canceled, and a total cost of the incident of over $150 million. So that just gives you a sense of how important incident response is. But we can't just pick on Delta or even the airline business. Every company that's powered by technology has incidents. Today, that means every company has incidents, since every company is now powered by technology. Can I have a show of hands in the audience? Who here has had a major incident in the last 12 months, taken down their site for customers? Oh, that's a lot of hands. So in a software-powered world, your teams need a way to take control of incident response. And that's why I'm so excited today to share with you Atlassian's modern incident response toolkit. Jira Ops, OpsGenie, and Statuspage. An important note for this audience is that everything you'll see in this section is cloud only. And we see this as a benefit for incident systems because they need to stay up when all your internal infrastructure is down. I'm going to jump today into Jira Ops. Jira Ops is Jira, built for modern incident response. Some of you might already use Jira for major incident management. This engineer at Netflix, for example, knows that he's dealing with a serious incident when he remembers the Jira number by heart. If you're a customer like this, who's using Jira already for incidents, well, you're in for a treat because we've got some awesome new improvements to how Jira can be used for incident management that make it a much better solution than tracking them in Jira Software or Jira Service Desk today. It's a beautiful new design, built for rapid incident response. And I'm going to take you through it today, step by step. To start with, we added a new project structure. It's simplified, and it only has the things that you need for incident response. So you can see a list of open incidents, a full history of all the incidents that have happened in your team, section for post-mortem tracking, and some reports on how your team is doing with incident response. Then, as you saw in the keynote, we've built up our bento box of all the ingredients you need to manage an incident in Jira. Up top is the incident summary with all the issue details you need to know. And then over on the right is where things start to get interesting. We have the time that the incident was open, the key roles, who's in charge and who's running the incident, and a customizable severity scale. With our integrations, Jira Ops puts all your tools at your fingertips, immediately accessible here in the incident view. And then we have the timeline, which is a chronological record of all the important events that happened during the incident. Let's look first at the integration pieces, where there's a lot of power packed into a small space. After talking with many teams who manage incidents, we realized that teams use a common set of tools to manage those incidents, but those tools are not integrated together to give you a complete picture of what's going on. So we've worked with several launch partners to integrate the most important tools into Jira Ops. We have Slack for team chat, Statuspage for customer and stakeholder communication, OpsGenie, PagerDuty, and Xmatters for alerting, and soon Jira Service Desk and Zendesk for customer support. To start with, we're going to have a look at how Slack integration works. Slack channel to discuss the incident should be easy. We want to encourage creating a separate channel for each incident to keep the related discussion together. So that's what we've done. It's a single click in Jira. By default, the channel is named the same as the key of the incident, and then you and your team can start discussing how to solve the problem. So here we are in Slack, and the team's having a technical discussion about what the problem is and how to fix it. And it looks like Sarah here has worked out what the problem was with our Kinesis pipeline. Now, Slack channels can be quite noisy, so it's easy to lose touch of what the important things are in an incident. So with Jira Ops, we make it possible to add Slack messages to your incident timeline to keep them part of the permanent record of the incident. The incident timeline in Jira Ops automatically includes important events from integrated tools like OpsGenie and Statuspage, as well as manual updates added from Jira. But what's maybe cooler is that it updates in real time. So you don't have to keep refreshing the page. Pretty cool, eh? Why do you need an incident timeline? What's the benefit of this? Well, teams get two big benefits from keeping track of their incident timeline in Jira Ops. Firstly, during the incident, you can ramp up new team members. So when you bring people on, involve a new team that hasn't been involved in the incident so far, they don't have to scroll back through lots of chat history or disrupt the team by asking questions about what's going on. They can go to the incident ticket and get a complete overview of what's happened so far. And then after the incident, it helps teams learn and improve by collecting all the key events related to the incident for the basis of your post-mortem. Let's take a closer look now at the Statuspage integration. On your incident in Jira Ops, you can always see what the latest Statuspage update is and how long ago it was made. Jumping into the detail view, you can see which components are affected and the full message that you sent out to your customers. And then it's just a button away to update your customers directly within Jira Ops. You can use the templates that you configured in Statuspage to send a specific message, and then hit send. The update goes out through your public status page, informing all your customers about what's going on. Elise is going to come up a bit later to tell you more about Statuspage and how it can help with customer communication. But I wanted to talk about why we added Statuspage integration to Jira Ops. And it comes down to customer communication and building trust. Your customers depend on you to run your services and keep them up for them. And it's when services go down that your customers are looking for you the most. They need you to keep them in the loop about what's happening. They want to know how long the problem is going to take to resolve. And they want to feel comfortable that you've got the right people working on it. In fact, with our Statuspage integration And part of the process that we're encouraging is to update your status page every 30 minutes as part of a major incident. And as technology leaders, we understand how important it is to keep the trust of our stakeholders and customers during these critical issues. And so building status page integration directly into Jira Ops so you can keep your customers in the loop through your incidents is a critical part of that. Now we're going to talk a bit about alerting. As you heard this morning, we had a huge announcement with the acquisition of OpsGenie. So today we're going to see how OpsGenie works with Jira Ops. An incident typically starts with a call or a notification on your phone. An alert has gone off, the system's gone down. So your on-call person opens up OpsGenie to confirm that it's a genuine problem. They acknowledge the alert, and then from directly in the mobile app, they can raise a Jira Ops incident to get the team together and start working on a fix. Later on, if you realize someone else is needed, maybe in a different team, you can see the alert details directly within Jira Ops, and then page additional users or teams with OpsGenie directly from Jira. So this bidirectional integration between Jira Ops and OpsGenie is incredibly helpful with engaging the right people at the right time to resolve your incidents faster. So everything you've seen so far today is available in our early access version that you can check out online. But now I wanted to give you a taste of things that are coming up, things that we're working on next for Jira Ops, to give you the full picture of what we're imagining for our incident solution. First up is support. We wanted to make it easy to track the customer impact of your incidents. So we'll be adding integration with Jira Service Desk to highlight the number of support tickets that have been raised about a specific incident. This gives the incident team live information about the customer impact of the incident that's going on. This helps the team understand what the severity of the incident should be, how quickly they need to prioritize a fix, and what they have to do around customer communication. There may be certain thresholds where if we have more than a certain number of customers affected, we need to do a public announcement or something like that. But what about the support team? They're involved with incidents too. Can we help them somehow with Jira Ops as well? Yes, in the Service Desk queue, we'll be adding a notification banner for agents as well. So that'll show them the ongoing incidents that are going at the moment, and they can quickly inform customers about the incident and resolve support tickets much faster. The second piece that's coming along that's really exciting is post-mortem tracking. And the idea of postmortems is to review what happened in the incident and make sure that your team follows up on any actions that need to be done. Those are fixed before the problem can reoccur. So here we're looking at a resolved incident in Jira Ops. And the key part here is in the middle, we have the ability to link out to Confluence and to Jira issues to track your post-mortem reports and Jira issues for remedial tasks. So this is a great start. You can see on every incident what the important things are to get done, make sure they get done. But how do you do this across lots of incidents? If you have 10 or 20 incidents per month, who's going to come back and check on all these actions? What's really needed is an aggregate view across all your postmortems so you can see what's going on. So that's what we're going to build. The postmortem report in Jira Ops will help you ensure that postmortems are completed and that the actions in each are followed up to completion. Finally, no solution in Jira would be complete without a reporting solution. So we'll be adding reports to track your resolution time and incident frequency over time. You'll also be able to filter these reports to see incidents by service and by cause. So that's a taste of what we've built with Jira Ops and what's still to come. But while we were working on Jira Ops, designing it, thinking about it, we found ourselves referring to Atlassian's internal incident processes quite a bit. Wouldn't it be great if we could open up our internal incident handbook and share it with customers so you guys can get a head start on how to use Jira Ops and how to run incidents in scale? Well, I'm happy to say that's exactly what we've done. We've tidied up our internal incident handbook. We've put it online together with Jira Ops, and you can have it as a reference for your teams. Our incident values, the roles that we define during incidents, how we manage incidents through a workflow, communication, postmortems, everything that we do around incident management at Atlassian. We've been impressed by the work done so far by Google with their site reliability engineering and other companies that have published incident guides, but there's so much still to be shared and learned about incident management, and we're excited to be part of that community. Just to summarize, with Jira Ops and the Atlassian Incident Handbook, you can respond to incidents with a consistent process, resolve them faster thanks to automation and real-time updates, and you can learn through your post-mortem process and by referring to our incident best practices. Jira Ops is available for early access today for you to try out with your teams at atlassian.com/ops. I hope you're as excited as I am about this new chapter for modern ops teams and Atlassian. Next up, we have a very special guest today, which is ML. She's VP of Product at OpsGenie, and she's here to tell you all about OpsGenie. Get you excited about that. Thank you very much.
So what is OpsGenie? We launched the first version of our product almost 6 years ago, and at that time, we realized that always-on services were becoming more and more popular. And the service disruptions had an increased potential to affect a company's revenue and reputation. Over the years, we realized that IT and development environments have grown in complexity, and these all make it even harder to keep services up and running all the time. So OpsGenie was founded with this idea to help keep systems up all the time. And today, thanks to our team working diligently, we have processed hundreds of millions of alerts, and we have helped more than our 3,000 customers all over the world keep their services running all the time. We are proud that we have improved the uptime and reliability of so many services, from popular gaming applications to energy production systems that touch all our daily lives. So always-on service is a great idea, but why is it so difficult to achieve? So typically, to have an always-on service, you deploy a numerous number of tools to ensure security, reliability, and performance. But these tools generate an enormous number of email notifications. As a result, alerts that require action are often missed, directed to the wrong people, or got simply ignored. And responding to real issues take even longer than ideal, and ultimately uptime suffers. So OpsGenie was introduced with the idea to help you respond to issues faster. Now I'd like to quickly go through the overall flow of how things work in OpsGenie. So first step, we connect to all of your IT and dev stack and monitoring tools and get the alerts that these systems produce. So it doesn't matter whether you use cloud-native tools or on-premise systems. OpsGenie connects to all. As we get the alert data, we format the alerts so that they are easily understandable and normalized regardless of the source tools. Alerts can be tagged with additional information so that they can be organized and filtered easily, so that you can cut the noise and differentiate the critical alerts from the rest. So we have the alerts in OpsGenie. What's next? We will notify some people, right? So OpsGenie decides on the right people to notify based on sophisticated on-call schedules and escalations. On-call schedules let you configure each person's on-call duties and also add overrides for special cases such as holidays and time-offs. And by checking an on-call schedule, you can easily see who was on-call in the past, who will be on-call in the future as well. Now we know whom to notify, so how are we going to notify them? Unlike monitoring tools, which just send email notifications, Opsgenie has multiple ways to notify people. So we deliver the alert information via multiple channels, such as SMS, voice call, email, and mobile push notification. And unlike the other tools in the market, we let you configure different notification preferences, like depending on the time of the day, or the severity of an alert, or the content of an alert. You can choose to be notified differently. For example, in the middle of the night, you may want to just get maybe voice calls, but during the rest of the day, you can get notified of alerts via SMS and mobile push notifications. So it's all configurable. And lastly, Opsgenie brings the information to wherever the users live. We connect with all of the other tools and systems you use, whether ChatOps tools, we connect to Jira Ops, Statuspage, and various documentation that you have, and we update all of these systems with the relevant alerting information. We know that most of you live in Slack, and that's why we heavily invest into our Slack integration so that you can do proper ChatOps. So here you see some alert information being posted to Slack. Thanks to our advanced Slack integration, you can take alert actions such as acknowledging an alert, adding a note to it, or even running custom actions on alerts directly from within the Slack interface without having to switch between different tools. So far with Opsgenie, you delivered the right information to the right people at the right time. But what else can you learn from Opsgenie? So Opsgenie now has huge information about your alerts and operations. So you can learn a lot from that data. We have our reports to help you with that learning. You can learn about your system health and operational efficiency. And you can get a deep understanding of your on-call team's performance and system efficiency from our reports. You can learn from the past and prevent recurring incident scenarios by using our reports. Now I'd like to explain a customer story. So this company is a large enterprise electronic manufacturing company, and they have hundreds of thousands of employees all around the world. Before Opsgenie, they deployed numerous number of monitoring tools, and they were getting thousands of alerts every day. And the alerts were being monitored by just email inbox. And their staff was missing approximately 60% of all of the critical issues every day, because of the sheer volume of the alert data. And staff was simply overwhelmed with the workload. Not just that, their customers were complaining about slow response to incidents. So just monitoring had little value for them. After Opsgenie, everything changed. They were able to reduce the alert volume by nearly 90% thanks to our smart alerted application. They leveraged our flexible on-call schedules and improved the after-hours support by global rolling schedules. Tagging helped them identify the critical issues from the rest, and by using tagging, they were able to focus on just business-affecting, business-critical issues and just resolve these ones. They fully automated incident ticketing creation by using our integration for Jira on-premise. After they integrated Opsgenie with their monitoring service, the monitoring service was able to get all of the incidents, and they missed no incident at all. And one huge win for them was, thanks to our reliable alerting, the mean time to acknowledge an issue is now measured in just minutes instead of hours, which was the case before. So that has been a quick capture of how effective alerting and on-call management can help modern IT teams. And I'm very excited to join the Atlassian family and getting the chance to help all of you have effective incident management going forward. And I'd like to invite all of you to our booth to meet my team members. Now, I'd like to hand over to Elise for Statuspage updates. Thank you.
Thanks, Amel. I'll try to speed through this so you don't have to sprint to your next talk. So, as you just heard, Jira Ops and Ops Genie can transform the way you and your team work through an incident. But incidents are much bigger than just your immediate team. So I'd like to shift gears now and talk about your customers. Because while you're behind the scenes working on fixing the problem, all they know is that they can't get stuff done, which means they're pinging you, they're emailing you, they're stopping by your desk, they're filing tickets, and if the problem is big enough, the exec team also wants to know you're on top of the problem. Statuspage helps you communicate proactively to reduce your support burden so that you can focus on fixing the problem. But before I get into specifics, it would be incomplete just to say that Statuspage helps mitigate that influx of requests coming your way, because communicating well during an incident does much more than that. It builds trust. Let me give you an example. Think of the last time you were on a flight that had crazy turbulence. For me, it was on the way here, actually. Even if you're normally a pretty rational person, when it starts to get bumpy, your palms sweat and you fear the worst. Then, when the pilot comes onto the intercom and explains what's going on and how long the turbulence is expected to last, you instantly calm down, even though the turbulence itself hasn't changed. That's what communication does. It builds trust. In fact, we on the Statuspage team feel so passionately about this that we made it our product mission to build trust with every incident. Some of the best companies in the world trust Statuspage to communicate their downtime, and in fact, we serve over 300 million page requests every day. For many of these companies, downtime plays out on a very public stage. Customers will tell you exactly how they feel on Twitter when you do or don't communicate well during an incident, and I want to show you a couple examples. Let's start with what can happen when you don't communicate and when you erode trust with your customers. And now, look what can happen when you do. This feeling of solidarity that you see in this tweet actually turned into a Twitter movement called HugOps. And you can head to Atlassian.com/HugOps to see it in action. It will show you that your customers can truly be on your side during an incident. Okay, let's get down to business. How does Statuspage actually work? Statuspage is your single source to show the status of all your services and infrastructure. It runs on your domain with your branding, and customers can see both current status as well as historical uptime and past incidents. Updating your page is super simple, whether you're dealing with an outage, degraded performance, or even a scheduled maintenance. Your customers will now know exactly what's going on, and they can opt to receive updates via email, SMS, or Twitter. Now, your page and notifications will get you pretty far with your customers, but we didn't stop there because it's really important to surface your status wherever your customers go for help, even if they don't visit or subscribe to your page. So to that end, we've integrated with tools like Slack, Jira Service Desk, and with our API, you can surface status information in your website, your app, or your knowledge base. Now, as obsessed as Statuspage is with communication, we haven't forgotten that you and your team are super busy working on the incident itself. So we think the communication part should be dead simple. To that end, with templates, you can stop copying and pasting and be done with your incident communication in the click of a button. With third-party components, you can add over 180 popular cloud services to your page, and when one of them has downtime, it will automatically surface on your page. And as Matt mentioned, Statuspage integrates with Jira Ops, which means you can send and update communication without leaving your incident management flow. And lastly, underlying all of this is rock-solid infrastructure that you can count on, like 4 nines of uptime, the ability to handle over 15,000 page requests per second, which means we can handle your highest impact outages. And coming soon, region and availability zone failover so that we can withstand major cloud provider outages. Simply put, we on Statuspage believe you can emerge from your incident with a better reputation than before it happened. Visit statuspage.io to check it out or stop by our booth. And with that, we wrap up our tour of Atlassian's Modern Incident Response Toolkit. We're super excited to share this with you, and we hope it helps you learn from every incident, resolve them faster, and build trust with your customers. Thank you.
So today, you've seen how Atlassian's really stepped up its investments in IT in a big way. From delivery to service to ops, Atlassian is now supporting the biggest jobs of IT teams. But what you've seen here is only a teaser of what we can do. As software becomes a bigger and bigger part of businesses and organizations, we believe that Atlassian's unique strength, unique experience and approach can really help IT teams in ways never possible before. But at the end of the day, it's not about the technology. It's not about the software. It's about you. It's about what your teams can do in this technological transformation. You all have an unprecedented opportunity to have a lasting impact on every organization. And we're very excited to be your partners, unleashing your potential so that we together can unleash the potential of every team. Thank you very much, and please enjoy the rest of the conference.